Alright guys, in this video we're just going to show you how to use some of the effects in Photoshop. One of the best ones is layer styles, which we can show you how to affect any aspect of your design. So first you got to make sure you have your history and your layers up, and you can activate those in the window menu. Just make sure that those are up because you'll need to switch between your layers for this one. So once you have all your design elements on the canvas, we want to be able to play around with them a little bit and start to add some effects. Now, you'll still be able to move them and change their size and things like that, but the effects you'll be able to try out, see if you like, and then you can always undo them later if you need to. The way to launch layer styles with any object, and in this case I'm going to use my complex shape here in the background, kind of looks like the starry sky in that shape. I'm going to double click to the right of the layer name. So if I double click over here, it's going to launch for us the layer styles option. And the layer style has a lot of features. Any feature you can check off the box to try it out, or click on the words to actually affect all the settings that are associated with it. And there's a lot of different settings you can play around with, like the color of certain things, in this case the color of the outer glow that I just sampled. Or you can increase the intensity of the effect, so the size of the glow in this case you can make it much larger. If we move this window you can see it a little better. You can increase the size and the spread of this thing, which will make it more intense. And there's settings for almost every single effect that you can apply here. So once you find an effect that you like, check off the box, sample it, see if it works. If you like it, you can play around with the settings for it. If you want to keep it, click OK. If not, you can uncheck the box or just hit cancel, and it's going to completely undo what you've done so far. You can add combinations of effects and try them out in different ways. Just remember, some effects will override others, so you want to try out different ones and shut off the ones that you don't like. So I'm going to keep this one real quick and just show you what might happen is if you go to click on your layer, sometimes the layer name is really long. So if you double click on the layer and you're trying to get to the right of it, you just can't quite make it. When you double click, it's going to actually have you edit the name of the layer. And in this case, just make sure to shorten the layer name or give it a new name that's short. And then you'll be able to double click off to the right of the layer, and it's going to launch those style options for you. You can use these style options for text, for any piece of your design. In this case, we're going to show you one more sample, which is my dragon. So I'm going to double click to the right of this dragon layer over here. And we're going to move the window over a little bit. And then just try to play around with some of these effects. Now, I have a really dark background, so the outer glow is something that we showed you already, but that might work well in this case. You could also do something like a bevel emboss, which is going to make it look a little bit 3D and give it some real depth and some interesting effect. And within those settings, remember, if you click on the words, you'll be able to play around with the qualities of that particular effect. And there's a lot of options once you get in there. You can soften the edges of things. There's all different things to experiment with. And what we'd like you to do is try to use at least one or two of the layer styles in connection with some of the design elements that you're working with. And finally, you can also apply filters to any object that you want to. And up in the filter menu, we check this out for Lightning. You can get up there and you can actually select any of the filters, and they'll apply to whatever individual layer that you have in the background. And you'll see in the preview it can be really dramatic effect, or it can be really subtle. You can play around with some of those settings in there too to make it look like it's disintegrating, or to make it just a little bit distorted as if it's just breaking up a little bit. And that's it. So give it a try it out, and we'll see you guys next time.